Welcome back to Old Guy REI. Are you a leader or a follower? I'm not sure why that thought popped into my head, but I must have heard something the other day on that topic. But after I thought about it for a few minutes, I realized that for a lot of my life, I was a follower. And during that part of my life, it didn't serve me well. Maybe that means, well, let me tell you what it meant for me. Having the wrong kinds of friends, maybe even following family members, because I know in my family, not everyone is a good leader, doesn't set a good example, maybe kind of bends the rules a little bit. And today, I don't know when I became a leader, but today I would consider myself a leader. I think I'm stronger now, and I don't really care too much if people's feelings get hurt because maybe I push back on something that they're saying or something that they're thinking. My wife is really strong. I wish I could have been more like her because from an early age, she was a leader and she always, I guess, fought for the underdog. But that's one of the special things that I love about her. And I wasn't like that. I also think about where I grew up. You know, if I had continued to grow up in the city that I was born in, I know my life would have turned out very different and probably not for the better. I think most of us know that we're good people inside. At our core, we're good people, right? We want to help others and do what's right and all of that stuff. But the outside influences and pressures sometimes will push us. Like I said, I was a follower and it would have pushed me in the wrong direction, I know for sure. And I know today, like I said, I feel like, well, I know I'm a leader. I know if someone's doing something wrong, I will stand up and let them know that I don't agree with that, whatever it might be. That's not the way I was raised, or that's not legal for lack of a better term, but so I like to think about my life today and try to think about maybe the ways I am leading. I heard a friend talking the other day on his channel about God and how he felt like he wasn't really setting a good example for his family because once he was going to church for a while, he realized that a lot of the people that attended the church weren't really, I don't know, maybe they weren't really Christ-like. They weren't acting the way God says we should act. And I had to think, I've always believed in God, and I don't practice like weekly. I don't go to church weekly, but I've always feared God, and I think that fear has steered me straight on more than one occasion. And I'm not sure what about going to church didn't feel right to me. The church that I'm talking about, sometimes the rituals, or I don't know, if you don't go to church every day, sometimes you don't know what you're supposed to do. If they hand you the basket to go collect donations, or greeter at the door. And I feel like the overall intent is to build a community of good people, right? And that would be great to have a group of really great people that believe the same as you to hang out with. I think that would be pretty awesome. But in many cases, you see, people might label themselves a Christian or whatever, but they really don't act like it. In fact, some of the people I know that are in that situation are some of the worst people I've ever met. But now, like I said, I don't know how many years it's been since I guess, realized I had a backbone, but nowadays, I even joke about it sometimes too, right? Because I talk to friends and let them know that, or I joke that I hope they'll like me once we start hanging around more together, because they'll get to know the real me. And I don't think I put on a different face, when I'm here on YouTube or just meeting an acquaintance. I feel like I'm genuine, and what you see is what you get. Some friends call me a grumpy old guy, but I don't think I'm grumpy. Anyway, that was just my thought for today. Maybe you could let me know your thoughts on the topic, and we could get into some deep conversations, I'm sure. That would be great. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and all those good things. I appreciate you watching.